Hello, I'm Jenny, and this is You Can Do Hard Things. In this episode, I'm talking to Claire Wynne about raising a daughter who needs 24-hour care, surviving breast cancer not once but twice, domestic abuse, grief, and what keeps you going when life doesn't give you much choice. Thanks for listening. Please follow, subscribe, and leave a comment. See you there. Those that don't know, me and Claire go. Sorry, Claire. Thank you. Me and Claire go back.
Years.
How many years do we go back? 26. And something I've always been aware with you is you have not had an easy path in your life at all. But I think out of it all, you are generally pretty positive. So I'd like to try and talk to you about things that came up in your life, how you handled it. Cancer has featured a few times in your life.
Yep.
You've lost your brother recently. Yep. Two kids on your own, brought them up, and that's not been straightforward either, is it?
No.
So shall we go? Actually, let's start from the beginning then. Well, Chloe, you fall pregnant with Chloe. How old are you?
24.
And are you with Chloe's dad?
Yes.
Were you a relationship couple-ish?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
How did that go down? Were you happy when you were? I know you don't ever want to change things, but when you first found out you're pregnant, was it a shit, I'm pregnant, or was it, oh my God, I'm pregnant?
I wasn't like, oh my God, I'm pregnant, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
Because I knew straight away, I knew I could have the child and look after it. I wasn't worried about that, whether I'd been on my own or not.
Yeah.
I think because I've always been around children, and always wanted children, and it was always something that I wanted. It wasn't something where I was like, I was quite excited.
Okay.
But I wasn't in the right relationship, but I couldn't do anything about that.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't switch it out halfway through, can you?
So obviously I had her. So the pregnancy itself was okay up until the end, about 3 weeks before, because it just all started to feel a bit odd. And I kept sort of thinking something don't feel right. But I got to 9 months. She came the day she was due.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, literally on the day. But the day I went into labour, they kept saying to me constantly at the hospital, when did your waters go? And I'm like, they haven't gone. And I think they'd been leaking for 3 weeks prior. So she wasn't getting the fluid that she was meant to be getting, the amniotic fluid.
Okay.
And also my stomach wasn't straight on like a curve, but it had gone to the side.
Okay.
So it was like, even the nurse said when I got to the hospital, she put me straight into a wheelchair and was just like, that's not normal. And I was like, no, obviously not. Straight up. And then literally within minutes, they literally said, put her out. Well, I wanted to push, and it's a really weird feeling because I wanted to push, and they looked and went, don't push anymore because her head's stuck. That's all I remember. Next thing I just remember being put out, then waking up. No, I remember them trying to put me out, and I was looking at my mum, look at the nurse kept going like that, and I kept thinking, she's dead.
Oh,
that's
God.
in my head, yeah.
Because, yeah, what else was a shake?
Yeah, and obviously I don't think they realised I was looking at them.
Yeah.
Because obviously I was very out of it. But anyway, I just remember waking up and no baby. And I'm just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And I don't really remember much. I think once I'd come round, they sort of said, she's here, she's okay. We had to bag her for 5 minutes.
What's that mean?
Basically put the oxygen thing over her and just press, yeah.
Got it. Stop breathe for her.
But
whatever.
And when you think 5 minutes, okay, yeah, that's all right. But when you think of 5 minutes, it's a long time.
That's actually a long time.
Yeah. And then I said, eventually, obviously, asked them what her APGAR score was. And obviously, when you're born, if baby cries straight away, it's normally 9 or 10. Okay. Chloe's was like a 1.
Oh.
Whereas Bradley, who was pulled out, again, emergency cesarean, his was 9 when he first came out because he took a breath. Whereas Chloe was floppy. Her head was stuck. They had to actually pull her out of the birth canal and out of me.
Yeah.
So then they said she's in special care. And they brought her around to me, and she latched straight on and was taking the milk.
You breastfed, yeah?
Yeah. I breastfed for about 4 months until she wasn't putting on weight, and they said, no, she needs a bottle. So then I started on the bottle. When she gulped it down, they said she's obviously been hungry, which made me feel like shit.
Yeah.
By 9 months, she was just like a fat little dump. And I thought, oh my God, now she's like the opposite.
Nice little dumpling.
Yeah, but to me, she was, I mean, she, like I say, she fed well, she slept well, but slept too well. Everyone used to think, this is a newborn baby. And
Were you aware of that at the time, sort of thought?
No, because it's your first baby.
You don't know different.
And so many people say, oh, my kids were brilliant.
You just think yours is that then?
And others say, oh,
Yeah.
God, they're awake every 2 hours.
Yeah.
So I just think, no, she just goes down at 8 o'clock. She wakes up at 8 o'clock. You know, I just thought, this is easy.
What do people moan about?
Yeah.
This is a breeze, apart from yanking her out.
I'm not tired. I'm fine every day. And then she would get up in the morning and have her morning bottle and breakfast and just sleep for another 3 hours.
Nap. Sounds like perfect.
I know. So I just thought, oh, this is just a breeze.
And then you fall pregnant again?
Yeah.
You? Go on.
10 weeks after I'd had Chloe.
Oh, Claire.
I know, but but I was on the mini pill and I was breastfeeding, and they told me that would be fine.
Okay.
Stupidly. But anyway, I found out I was pregnant. Did and ah, but in my head, I kept thinking, by the time this baby comes along, Chloe will be a year old, she'll be walking, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Because I kind of like, that was my picture in my head.
Yeah.
And that wasn't the reality, because at that point I didn't know she'd got anything wrong. It was only when then my mum kept saying to me, she should be sitting up by now. She should be crawling. We'd try and put her on her stomach. She would scream. We'd try and put her feet down. She would bring her feet up.
Oh, yeah.
We would take her outside to like touch the grass, like put her feet on grass and stuff, and she'd bring her feet up. And
doesn't like things touching her feet. Is that something?
yeah, well, that then, I mean, not now.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ, now it's the opposite. But Mum said no, it's not right. She should be sitting up. She was 10 months old. She wasn't sitting up. Wasn't even trying to.
Yeah.
She was rolling over, but she weren't really grasping things either, like grabbing things.
Yeah. No, not inquisitive about things.
No, not really. She kind of just laid there, and then she would just sort of repetitively do little things with her hands and stuff. And it wasn't, you know. But again, I don't know. It's very hard, because back then I think it's just, you look and think, maybe it's, I don't know if it's normal or not, because I've not had a child before.
Yeah.
So obviously Mum said, no, we really need to.
I suppose you don't want to hear anything else either,
do you? You don't. You're just thinking, oh, it'll pass or whatever. But in the end, she had tonsillitis, and the doctor said, no, she needs to go up to the hospital. And that was when the hospital was on Thorpe Road. So it was the old hospital.
Oh, yeah.
And he checked her there, and he said she's got real low muscle tone in the bottom half of her body, which kind of makes sense then why she wasn't doing what she was doing.
Yeah.
And he said she needs to be reviewed by the child development unit. So she was referred to the child development unit, and it went from there. But it took until 7 before, because Janet Clark, who was going to diagnose her, said, I can't just put Chloe in a box. Like, you can see a child and go, right, they're autistic, ADHD or Asperger's, whatever, and you can put them in that box. She said Chloe just fits into so many different boxes, which she still does to this day, that she couldn't give a definite diagnosis.
As you say, couldn't label her.
No. So it was only when she then put her in a room where you sit in another room and you look through the glass and you watch her interact with others, and how she didn't interact with them, and how she didn't play alongside them, or alongside them rather than with them. And that's when she gave us sort of the diagnosis of autism, learning disability. They called it back then global development delay.
Okay.
So she was delayed in all aspects of her learning.
Okay. Not just one area. All
no. So there was the walking, the talking.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So all of it. So they just called it learning disability.
Okay.
So she didn't walk till she was 22 months. So she was, only just coming up to 2. And by then, most of them are, running around, and she wasn't talking. So even when she went to school at 4, she still was only saying the odd word, and everything at that point was just kept spinning everything. It was so obvious then. But again, there's
looking back, do you mean it's obvious? Whereas maybe at the time it wasn't as obvious.
As obvious. It was. I didn't know any different, I suppose.
And yeah,
for 4 years, I dealt with how she is.
So it becomes a normality to you.
And then I suppose when I started seeing Bradley doing the norm, as they call it, hitting the milestones, then you start thinking, That's what she should have been doing. That's what she should have been doing. He was obviously a bit delayed with his walking, but they said take 3 months off every time because, like, he was 15 months when he walked. But you take that off, that makes him a year.
So we'll pick up Chloe again. So Bradley, you've got a 9-month-old. You've got a 9-month-old when you find out you're pregnant, or had?
No, she was
Oh,
10 weeks.
sorry, 10 weeks. Yes, of course, because you have him early, which means
She would have been a year, but obviously because he came 3 months early.
Yeah.
Chloe was 9 months old.
So pregnancy with Bradley, how does that go compared to your other one?
Not good. For a start, it was okay, normal, seemed normal, and then just a lot of pain. And the doctor had said to me that even though Chloe's birth was how it was and how traumatic it was, that they'd keep more of an eye on me with Bradley's, and they didn't.
Oh,
And he said there's a good chance that Bradley will be born, absolutely normal. You shouldn't sort of worry, kind of thing. But obviously, I got to 6 months and just the most horrendous pain. I was hemorrhaging, and had to be literally rushed in.
where were you, and how did that?
I'd gone up to Huddersfield with their dad for him to visit his family.
Okay.
For some reason, I took my red book, which is their medical record book. I don't know why, because I was only 6 months pregnant.
How strange.
Yeah. Why would I need that? I've got another 3 months to go. No idea why I took it. We're only going up there for a couple of weeks or a week or so.
Do you think maybe somewhere and you thought it might not be a couple of weeks, it might be longer, so therefore just to be on the safe side?
I really don't know. I just remember packing it and thinking, anyway.
You never know. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I just woke up and I knew by the pain, and there wasn't any break between each pain, so it wasn't like it was contractions and I'll time it.
It
was continuous pain.
And what sort of, do you wake up in the night? Is it in the
Yeah.
morning? You wake up in the night?
Yeah. So Chloe's obviously in the travel cot at his mum's house. His mum's disabled,
Okay.
so she can't get up and down. So an ambulance would have actually taken longer. So his sister said, "No, I'm taking you."
Yeah.
Got me in the car and took me. And all I'm thinking is, Chloe's in the travel cot and his mum can't get upstairs. I know that she wakes up at 8 o'clock, but so I had to literally ring my family to get them to get up before Chloe woke up.
Yeah.
All I was thinking about was, or send their dad back and get her out, whatever. But obviously he was at the hospital, so she got me to the hospital, and all I remember was the doctor. I don't remember much because I guess 23 years ago. The doctor just looked at my notes and went, "Put her out," because she dilates very quickly. It turned out that I dilated from 0 to 10 centimeters with Chloe in 45 minutes.
That's a lot, I take it.
Yeah, most people can they can dilate like 1 centimeter, and it could be hours.
Ah, wow. Okay.
Some people would be like 5 hours and they check them again and go, "Oh, you're only 3 or 4."
Yeah.
No.
Whereas you're like
45 minutes, 0 to 10.
coming in hot.
Yeah. So he said, "Put her out now." So I just kind of remember them stabbing something in my leg to mature the baby's lungs. And I'm going, but the baby, I didn't know what we were having. I was just like, the baby's going to die. I'm 29 weeks. I should be 40 weeks. I'm 29 weeks. And again, just putting out, and I woke up and I was like out for 9 hours. Again, second time, wake up, no baby.
Oh, Claire. Oh, Claire.
Mm.
Oh, fucking hell. What a...
And I didn't know, because obviously this baby was born 3 months early.
So twice you're thinking you've lost...
Yes.
The feeling that most people get if they come around, whatever, it's like joy, elation,
Nope.
baby, happy,
Nope.
everything's amazing. And twice you've woken up and thought,
Yep.
I've lost them.
I woke up and literally I've got thing in my arm.
Oh, the
drip
IV thing.
And as I tried to move to get out of the bed, which was stupid, but I was in such a state because I was just like, "Where's my baby?" That almost come out and blood spurting.
God. Yeah, of course.
And they were like, "You can't move. You just had a cesarean." I said, "No, I need to know. Is my child alive?" And then at that point, their dad had gone down to the special care unit, unbeknown to me, and said, like, "I need a picture because when she wakes up,
she's going to want to know.
She's going to want to know that this baby's alive and he's okay." And they said, "Yeah, that'll be £1, please." I never forget that. And I'm thinking, yeah, £1. Yeah, you're a new father. This baby's in. Yeah, they wanted £1.
Wow.
Anyway, so he comes in a little bit, not long after actually, and shows me this picture, and obviously on a picture everything looks bigger.
Okay.
And I go, wow, he's big. And he's like, no, he's not. And I'm like, okay, get me a wheelchair. I need to get out, and I need to get in, and I need to go down there.
Let me see my baby.
Yeah. So I don't know how I got out of the wheelchair, into the wheelchair, and they wheeled me down. I do remember going in the lift, and I just remember it's just the most weird feeling, because I've never had that experience of the baby coming out and straight onto your chest.
Yeah.
And that is the minute they bond with you.
Bonding, isn't
skin,
it?
yeah, skin to skin. Never had that. And so both the babies, I've sort of like, it's been the same. It's that horrible feeling. But went into the special care baby unit, which is horrendously hot and awful. And I saw him. And
it's in Huddersfield.
Yeah, it's in Huddersfield. So I'm away from Chloe. Well, not away from Chloe, but
physically
away from her. And it's not in my head. I had this picture of holding this baby and then Chloe coming in, and it all, it wasn't. But anyway, I had to deal with it, and I walked in. Well, got pushed into wheeled into there, and saw him, and he was like £3, 3 ounces. So he's like tiny. He's like this.
How many pounds in a bag of sugar? 2, isn't it? 2 points. So a bag and a half of sugar.
But they classed him as big for his gestation.
So for 6 months he was big.
Yes.
But not big. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So most are born, they could be £1.5, £2. He was £3, 3. So they classed it as, which I took as a positive, because I thought, well, he's a bit bigger.
Yeah.
But he looked
tiny.
It was just, yeah. And
3 months growth left in him. Or should have had.
And it's like taking a chicken out halfway through cooking it, isn't it? It's just not ready, is it? It's not, though. It's not ready.
It's raw.
Yeah, it can't cook out on the top, can it? And that's how he had to be. He had to do all the, like, the part of his brain, the last part of your brain that gets developed in the last 3 months in the womb, it had to develop in the incubator with tubes and things up his nose. And, he was obviously on, he's got a tube down his throat because he couldn't breathe on his own. And yeah, his face was this, it was just, and then he had a hat on. They have one there with a flap so you can see all the hair. And I see this like jet black hair and these like big eyes, but he was absolutely tiny. And I just remember I just passed out. I think the heat, just everything.
Well, you'd had the nights you've seen him, hadn't you? I suppose that's a lot to deal with.
Yeah. And then it's just like, they're like, you can't hold him. You're going to have to we have to put him on a pillar. So you're going to have to hold him on a pillar. So I couldn't even physically touch him. I had to hold a pillar. But then I was just desperate then to get him back to Peterborough, because I was just like, look, Mum had collected Chloe by then, and Mum had got her. So I didn't see Chloe for about 7 days. And then they had to organise an ambulance to transfer us back to Peterborough. And I just couldn't wait to get back to Peterborough. Yeah. And so they said to us, follow the ambulance. If the ambulance pulls over, it could be that there's something wrong with his oxygen.
Right.
Or there could be an incident, just to make you aware. Try not to panic, but obviously if there's something wrong with him, we have to pull over. 2 minutes after leaving the hospital.
Pulls over?
It pulls over.
Oh, Claire, no.
So obviously I'm panicking straight away, and then they pull off. I didn't say anything, just pull off. So we're following all the way from Huddersfield back to Peterborough. When we get back to Peterborough, I'm like, why did you pull over? They said, someone clipped the ambulance, the wing mirror. So I spent them 2.5, 3 hours thinking, well, okay, they've carried on, but still thinking there was something wrong with him.
Yeah, something must have happened because they pulled over.
But he, by then, you see, was off the oxygen, because they said he'd be on oxygen for 4 weeks. He was on it for 4 days. He was a fighter.
Yeah.
They just kept turning it down and down and down. They kept saying he's constantly wanting to breathe on his own. He's no different now. He likes to do everything his way. So they took that off.
A bit like you.
Yeah. And he did. He cried. They said he won't cry, and he did. So everything they kept saying he wouldn't do, he did. But he did have to still be fed through the nose. So you have to use a syringe to slowly push the food in.
Yeah.
And if there's a tiny air bubble in it, you have to pull it back out again and redo it. So that does take its toll on you, because it's like exhausting. But he constantly pulled that out. And every time they put it back in, he'd have one tear come down his face. Because you could see him thinking, I was like, he doesn't want this.
No, he doesn't. No.
But yeah, so I had to deal with him being in there for 9 weeks. They like to keep them in roughly until the date they would have come.
His due date, sort of thing.
Yeah, his due date. And then when I turned up at the hospital, they said, you have to bring a car seat in. We need to put them in a car seat and check their breathing to make sure that when they're sat upright, their breathing's okay. They do it with all babies from SCABU, as they call it.
From what?
Special care baby unit, but they call it SCABU.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So get the car seat, and what they do is they move them down a room each time, so they're getting nearer and nearer to going, basically.
Nearer the finish line?
But nearer the finish line, yeah. So I turn up, and the room he was in is gone. I just look, and the room's empty.
Oh Christ, not again.
Yeah, I'm looking in another room, and I just can't see him anywhere. I can't actually remember where he was, but they were like, don't panic, don't panic, don't panic. No, your baby's just not where you left it. Put him in the car seat, and by then I think he was £6. He was exactly £6. I left the hospital with him in the car seat, put him next to the car, which sounds really daft. I remember being in the car park, and I looked at my mum and I put him down, and I said, I can't do it. She said, what? I said, I can't take him home. She said, what do you mean? I said, he's too small, mum. He's too fragile.
Oh, God.
I said, he'll die. She's like, no, he won't. Well, you can do this. I was like, I can't. He's too fragile. He's got to be in hospital. I had no choice. I had to take him home. But I was terrified. I never slept. I didn't sleep for ages. And he used to have to sleep sitting up, because if he laid down, he used to make these gurgling noises, and it would terrify me. I just think he's going to stop breathing. So until he got to about 16 weeks, and then I looked in the cot one day and he flipped himself over. I thought, oh, he's all right now, because he can do it.
Wow.
So for 16 weeks, it was just like, oh. But once he was feeding from the bottle, and he was like burping normally, and then he flipped himself over, and he was smiling, and he was looking around and all that, I kept thinking, no, he's, he had come on so much in such a short space of time.
At that point, do you think you see a marked difference between his progress and how Chloe progressed?
Yeah, because there's a video of him laying, and we're all sort of chatting away to him and calling him, and he's looking round, and in the corner there's someone with Chloe, and she's just sitting there, and she's doing this.
Yeah.
When I look back now at the videos,
Yeah.
at that time I'm in it because I'm so busy as a mum.
Yeah. You're just doing it, aren't you?
You're just doing it, yeah. You're just making the bottles, you're just doing the routines, blah blah blah. But I look back now, I think, oh my God, he was doing more then than what she was doing at that.
So Bradley comes out of hospital, you're looking after him, you're getting it done.
Yeah.
You're doing hard things, getting it done.
Yep.
Where's Dad? There, Dad.
He's there, but not for very long.
How's your relationship with him at that point?
Not good. He wasn't stepping up. It's very vague, as in me even picturing him about. He was back and forth at the hospital most days when Bradley was in doing the night feeds, when I was at home with Chloe. But then when we actually brought Bradley home, sometimes he would disappear back up to Huddersfield and then come back again. It's very vague, but he wasn't what I would call everyday present, going to work, coming home, all that. It wasn't like that. It was just a nightmare, and I knew that this had to come to an end, not just for my sake, but for the kids' sake. He wasn't doing what he was supposed to be doing.
What's the next point, would you say, that happens with him?
When the violence started.
Did it just start like overnight, or had he always had a bit of a personality and it progressed? How did that happen?
I knew he had a temper, but there'd been nothing towards me.
Yeah.
And certainly nothing towards the children, because he would pick them up, and it was like he was like, so protective over them. So I knew, obviously, with things in the past, that he'd got a temper and things had happened. So I can't really remember why it just changed. I think he came back one night and he'd got, I think, some blood or something on him, and I knew something had happened. He tried to make out he'd been hurt or something, but I think he'd done something.
Right.
And I remember just thinking, I've got to get out of this somehow. And then, like I said, as sort of the few weeks went on, it just got worse. He just I mean, at one point he was on the PlayStation, and back then the PlayStation, the remote control wasn't like Bluetooth, it was attached to a wire. And he unhooked it, so the wire was obviously on the control, and he swung it around and smashed it into my face.
Okay.
So, like I said, there was different incidents, locking me under the stairs.
How did that happen?
I remember he just pushed me under the stairs, shut the door, and then I barricaded it to stop me from getting out. And I could hear Chloe crying, and I think he left me in there. It wasn't a long time. Like I said, I can't remember exactly, but I remember coming out, or getting out, or him letting me out or something, just thinking, I can't believe this is happening.
Yeah.
I've just had the children.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'd not long had Bradley was only, I don't know how old. So it's sort of, I don't really mind. I just remember just turning around and saying, you need to go. I think it was after that incident. I think I remember saying, I can't, this has got to stop. Because I just felt his violence was escalating. And I thought, I've got to protect the children.
Yeah.
He literally went, and I'd got Bradley in the car seat, 6 months old. Chloe was 16 months old. And I just remember he just got in the taxi and he just went.
Were there other things he did that were quite, I assume there were, bad? That were like, that you kind of thought, this, not blind eye, but I can't, it's not just me now sort of thing,
Violent wise?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember he walked by me once when I was holding Chloe. And I don't know why, but I remember I just cooked dinner. And he walked by me, and I don't know what was said, but he headbutted me and spat in my face. And now when I talk about it, I think, why did you even let him do one thing?
It's an easy thing to get involved in, I think.
Why even, and I think when Bradley was sick on him that day, and he was like effing and blinding, and just dumped Bradley on the floor with sick all over him to go and clean himself up.
Yeah.
I just thought, no. As a new mum or dad, you're covered in sick. Just part and parcel of it. He couldn't help it. How can a baby help being sick?
Do you think at that point, were you still in love with him? Were you in love with him
No,
before?
I don't think I was. I think it was, I don't know what it was. I think because I think sometimes when you've got children with somebody, you think you have to try and make things work or accept what they do, and you don't. You should never stay together with them for the sake of the children, because it doesn't work. Because if I'd stayed with him, God knows what would have happened.
Or what those kids would have witnessed.
They don't remember anything.
So he leaves.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen him since?
No.
Where is he?
He's now apparently up north somewhere. Leeds way, I think. I don't know.
Never heard from him, nothing.
Nope.
Do you hear from him a bit like shortly after or anything like that? Did you have any contact from him?
No, I don't know. I think I was so frightened at that point.
Did he know who you were? Did you move or anything?
No, I stayed where I was for a while, but he didn't come back, no. But I was frightened of him coming back. Because I think once he'd gone, after a couple of weeks, it was that relief of, but I was struggling to do it on my own.
Yeah.
For a start, because it was like, so I remember, because obviously Chloe wasn't walking and doing all the things that you thought she might be doing. I remember taking them both upstairs to bath them, and then would bath one, because obviously Chloe couldn't sit up, so I had to bath one at a time, take her out, then put Bradley in. And I remember then walking back down the stairs, and I fell down the stairs. I remember putting my hand over Bradley's head to protect him and Chloe, and I just thought, I remember sat at the bottom of the stairs, I thought, I can't keep doing this on my own. How do I do this?
Yeah.
But then you wake up the next day and you start again. Because you say, I can't do this, but you do it. 24 years later, I'm still doing it.
You're still just doing it.
Yeah. So you do it.
It's one of those things, isn't it? I think this is what a lot of this is about, is if someone had said to you a few years before that you're going to have this to face with, you're like, I can't do that. How can I do that? But you just do. You don't have any bloody choice.
I was just going to say, I didn't have a choice.
No.
I weren't going to walk up and give my children up. So I didn't have a choice. I had to just do what I had to do with what was in front of me. And I did do it.
Can you like pinpoint, is there like how you do it, or do you think it is just that I don't know how?
I didn't know how. I just, because obviously for 7 years with Chloe, I didn't know what was wrong.
Yeah.
Although was having input from people from the child development unit, because no one had given her, I suppose, a diagnosis.
Mm.
So therefore, you got a diagnosis, then you know what treatment you can have or what therapy you can have. Because there wasn't that. It was just a case of a trial and error.
With Chloe and her, as she's growing up, is it obviously we've got this global learning
Development delay.
development
Yeah.
delays, um, whatever they're calling it today. Uh, how are things? Is everything else around her like as you would expect? Like, is her vision good? Is her hearing good?
Yep.
Speech?
Yeah. I mean, if you sat and chat with her now, you'd be like, "Oh my god, she's amazing." She can't speak like us
Yeah.
in the respect of her conversations are not like our conversations because she doesn't understand. But she can have a conversation, but it's about what either she likes or what she's going to or what she'd like to do. It's not, you can't sit and have a normal catch up. Like you can't sit down with her like you would a normal 24-year-old and talk about everyday stuff. No, it's about Chloe's stuff.
Is there like an age that they put her at? Does that happen now? Do they
I
kind of
would
say,
say some things that she says, you think that's what a 3 or 4-year-old would do.
right?
Some days I think it's like 7, 8-year-old, and then there's other times she's like a teenager,
Oh,
and there's other times she's like an adult. I sort of said you can't put her into a box.
yeah. So how does a so the diagnosis comes when she's what, 7?
Along with the epilepsy,
Tell me about that. How does
she just one day her eyes sort of went up and she sort of went like that, and then come back round, and I thought, don't know. And then it happened again and again. And I thought, this don't seem right. So took her to the doctors. Obviously, they get her referred to Addenbrooke's, who do the put all the little
yeah,
things on your brain.
yeah.
And then they got her to blow these things that basically would cause an absence if it was that, which it did. Like I said, her eyes she sort of just goes like that. It's really weird. It's seconds, and they could see it on the screen. And straight away they said she's got absent seizures, as they call it.
Okay.
Some people have epilepsy where it's just one part of their brain and it can be removed.
Okay.
Chloe's, unfortunately, they said it's all over her brain. So she can't have it removed. It'll be there forever.
Is she medicated?
Yeah.
What other problems have you had along the way with Chloe? Problems is the wrong word. What other difficulties have you had to face while you've had Chloe? Schooling, has that all been okay? Do you get funded? Does the government support you? How does that work?
No, when she first went to school at 4, she was in a mainstream school because even though she wasn't talking much, um, they said back then, it's not done like that now.
Yeah.
Back then it was, she needs to be in school for a certain amount of time for us to see her difficulties, for us then to make a decision on where she should go.
To make the allowances that would fit.
Because she needed a care plan or CHP, CP, I can't remember what it's called now.
Yeah.
Plan. So I was lucky that Michelle, who was Chloe's TA, when we got there, she took Chloe on, and because Michelle was brilliant with children with difficulties, if it wasn't for her, I don't think Chloe would have come on as much as she did. But it was very evident to the school, so it was a case of then getting the plan put in place. It took a long time, but the kids took to her, and she adapted to that environment in that school at that point. The headmaster, all sorts. And obviously then eventually she's going to have to go to a special needs school.
Yeah.
So we looked around some, and then we chose Helpwait, which it's just an unbelievable school. Amazing.
That's in Peterborough, is it?
Yeah, in Breton.
Okay.
Yeah. So she went there, and couldn't wish for better. Just absolutely phenomenal school. And then she stayed at Helpway, but moved over to St George's, which is their basically what you class like their sixth form, but it's for when they turn sort of like when they become over 18, I think, 89, 20, yeah. So she did 3 years at St George's.
So when they turn 18, I assume their actual age, their biological.
Yeah.
Yes, regardless of how they're functioning.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she went to St George's and did 3 years there and loved it. But again with Chloe, wherever she goes and whatever she's doing, once she hits her ceiling, it's like she can't stay any longer because she's not going to learn anymore.
Right. Yeah.
Once she's hit what she can learn. So from there, I was just like, oh God, what's going to happen? But
Now
then
what? Yeah.
she went to Peterborough Regional College for 3 years,
Okay.
which they have a learning disability
Okay.
section.
Yeah.
So she went there for 3 years.
That go okay?
I would say it went okay, as in, again, with her ability when it comes to learning. Like Chloe with maths, it's never going to happen. 1 and 1 is 2, and then you get past that and it's just...
Yeah, yeah.
So again, she hit her educational ceiling. If she'd stayed there, they said the next phase would have been actually physically writing and more that sort of side of it, which was just not going to happen.
Is that not her? No.
No, it's more with Chloe, it's life skills
Okay.
rather than education wise.
Yeah.
So she was there for 3 years and she left there. But in between all that, she'd already started at Circles. So she's now full-time at Circles. Well, not full-time.
And what Circles?
It's basically, Circles Network is where young adult, well, even young children and up to older adults go as respite. So it's respite for the parents,
So it's respite for you, isn't it?
for the families, where it's very much centred around per person on what they want to do and what they like, rather than it be like a school or a college where
you're not in a group where you just got to conform. It's more...
Yeah, it's centred around her. She's 1-to-1, so she has to be, especially with her epilepsy as well. She can't be left. She has to be with someone 24/7.
How do you find living like this?
Recently, I felt trapped.
Yeah.
Not so much. It's hard to describe. Yeah. But yes, Chloe's going through a little bit of a not a good stage.
Right.
She's not sleeping.
Right. Okay. Ironic.
Lashing out. She can be awake from 2 a.m. till she goes at 10 a.m. the next morning. She can be awake that whole time, and that can be screaming, crying, lashing out. And sometimes it goes on for days, where I think I went 10 days straight and I had barely 2 or 3 hours sleep a night. So she's just going through a real, like, downward, you know. So recently, I think it's felt like the last few months has just felt like I've been locked away in the house and I've got no life. I've sat there sometimes and thought, I've got no life. You hear people saying, oh, I can't wait for the weekend, and I'm thinking, I don't actually want the weekend to come.
Saturday to Tuesday. Yeah, because you've got no respite, have you?
No.
In that time.
Yeah.
What support do you have?
In what respect?
Physically, to help you go through all of this. Without going into it too much, is Bradley around?
No.
Is he around to help or anything?
No.
No. Okay.
No,
How old's he now?
23.
Is he still local?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So it's just... Is there anybody else in your life, partner or anything that actually, with Dad going out the picture? Let's not digress into that. We don't need to.
No.
He's not around. Not significant. Doesn't matter.
No.
Sperm donor at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. How have you found, like, relationships or anything like that whilst having both kids and everything else? Has that been... Have you found that? Have you met somebody? Have you been able to?
Well,
Again,
obviously,
I don't expect you to. It's private life. Don't expect you to go into that. Say what you want.
No, obviously, I've been with Michael for 17 years.
Oh, okay. So there is a significant person in your life.
Yeah, but again, when we met, his children obviously he was a single dad. His children were very, very young.
Okay.
And I'd got Chloe with how she was, and obviously I'd got Bradley, so it wasn't ideal in that respect of...
No, not your... Yeah.
Because mine wasn't what you call the norm.
No.
And I suppose anybody coming into that situation, but he was getting a break from his kids because they would go to the mum.
Yeah.
I wasn't.
Never.
No, I wasn't. A lot of people, when they split from the dad, they get the weekends.
They then get some time. Yeah.
There wasn't. So I suppose it's just been 24/7, just me and the two kids, until obviously when Bradley obviously left the home, and then it's now just me and Chloe.
And I guess it always will be. Is there what's the future for Chloe?
When people ask me that, not that I bottle up, but I can't face
Thinking about it. Is that more for you or for Chloe or both?
both. The thought of her in a home with other people looking after her,
Yeah.
and not with me, is something I just ought to picture.
Why do you think that is? Is it because you don't trust anyone else or you want to be there for her?
A bit of everything. I think because,
I mean, she's a permanent part of you, isn't she? She's always
obviously,
there.
yeah. But I think because, like with Bradley, with the difficulty he's got, he is able to look after himself. You know, he lives in his own flat, he does his own washing, he does his own cooking. He can go to the shop, he can do his shopping, he can do the things that she can't do any of it. She has to have someone do everything for her. She cannot be left. And I think it's just, I've watched the program on TV where parents have got to the point where they're too old, they're in their 60s or whatever, and they can't look after them, and they've had to put them into these residential places. And even watching it, that feeling is just when they had to walk away, and then they filmed them and they're crying for their parent, and it's just
Yeah, painful.
because Chloe is like that. She's very much, the minute she's upset, even at respite, or even if she stops at my sister's, I want mum, I want mum. And I can't, I know that I can't get to like 70 or 80 and be looking after her. But yes, I know it's daft not to go there. And people have said to me, you've got to go there. You've got to look at it. And don't get me wrong. At the moment, there's days when I just think, oh my God, somebody take it for a week because I can't cope with this.
Yeah.
But even when she went to my sister's last week overnight, although it was lovely just to sit there in the peace and quiet and go to bed and know I could go to sleep, walking by her bedroom and she's not in the bed, I just thought, oh, this is what it'd be like if she weren't here, permanently.
Yeah.
And that thought, I can't go there yet.
But what I can't quite get my head round on that, and I don't know if it's you can't go there yet for you or is it for Chloe? Both. It's
Maybe it's more me being selfish. I don't know.
yeah, because how do you handle it? Yeah. Not yeah.
I don't know how she's going to handle it. I mean,
Yeah.
luckily, there is something coming up where I've managed to get her a place called Lion's Garden, which it's only in Glinton. It's literally 4 minutes from my house. And she has been given hours by People's Council. I ain't got to pay for it. She will go there and do some overnight respite to give me a break.
Okay.
So I'll get, I think they said 1 weekend a month.
Okay, yeah.
And then if I want a week, then I think I've got 3 weeks in the year to use. I can use like 3 weeks. So I don't know how she's going to be. At the moment, she's super excited because we're saying it's a holiday place.
Well, it is.
Yeah, yeah. And we've been to visit. She's seen the rooms. She's so excited. She's already packed a bag. We haven't even got any dates yet, but she's.
She's not going to need you. How's that going to feel?
I don't know.
Maybe that's part of what this is about. Where's your identity when Chloe's not there?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. The thought of strangers, because they are strangers, I don't know them. I don't know the staff.
They won't be, though, by the time that comes round. It won't feel like that.
No. I mean.
Because the first time she went to Circles, surely you felt a little bit kind of,
yeah.
Oh my God, these are strangers.
Yeah.
Are they going to be okay? Is she going to be okay? Am I going to be okay?
Yeah, and she's been there more than 10 years now, and it's just second nature.
Surely, at that first.
Oh, yeah.
The change, because it's not just a change it's not just Chloe coping with the change, is it?
No.
And I think that's what people think sometimes. It's
how's the child going to be?
Chloe, yeah.
No. And all the things that need doing. They're going to shower her. They're going to, do you know what I mean? They're going to dry her, dress her, see her. She's vulnerable.
She's an adult. Yeah, she's not a child. Yeah, and as you say, you're going to see her. Yeah.
It's all those little things. They've got to do her medication. And then I'm thinking, what if she wakes up in the middle of the night?
It's the what ifs, isn't it?
And she's in a completely different place. And she's like, I want my mum, I want my mum. And then there's that selfish part of my brain that's thinking,
what if she's okay without you?
Well, there's that, which I think will help me in the sense of then I can say, right, I'm going to book these 4 days, and she can go there 4 days, and I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. But there's also that part of me of like, I think I need to get past. If she has a night there and she says to me, I loved it, I am going to be happy, because there's a selfish part of me is thinking, right, now I can have a little bit of a break, and you're happy.
Yeah, the guilt.
I don't want to have a break and then
she's not happy.
And she's not happy.
No, yeah.
So that's where I've got to get, is I'm not getting myself too excited about, which sounds daft, but this respite.
That makes sense.
In case it doesn't go as well. Because at the moment she's literally so excited. I think it'll be fine.
It's a massive step, isn't it?
Because Chloe's very sociable.
Is she?
Oh, she'll talk to anyone. She'll just talk to people, and she's got no idea of stranger danger. So again, there's that
concern. Yeah, of course.
But yeah, she's not one to, and she will seek out who she likes. You know, if she likes you, you'll know about it. You know, somebody could come round that from, I don't know, say somebody she's under from the hospital or from wherever. They could come for a meeting at the house, and she'll either not say much, and then you're like, she's not connected to them, which don't happen often.
Yeah.
Or she's almost cuddling you before you even leave. So you know when, you know.
This is something, isn't it? Kids with conditions, difficulties, I don't know what the right term is, so forgive me on that. They do tend to be the most show their ways in other ways, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yes, there's the outbursts that you have to handle, but also the love that they give off as well is just...
Chloe's one for cuddles, like, constantly. But then Chloe's in the 24 years, apart from when she was 2 and she went through a bit of not a great time. She was pulling her hair, and again, that was frustration because she couldn't talk.
She couldn't communicate.
She couldn't communicate.
Yeah.
But apart from that, she's never been one to lash out. She's always been very, very calm. She'd obviously cry at things, and she'd have her fears, but she's overcome a lot of them as well herself. So this, we're going through at the moment, although the last 2 nights she slept through. I mean, she did 10 hours the night before and 7 hours last night. It's just like, it's a miracle. I woke up this morning and I thought, what time is it? It's like 7 o'clock.
Do you find yourself waking up thinking,
what's wrong with her?
Hang on, this is too many hours. This is what's occurring.
Yeah.
So it's almost, yeah.
And I literally have to go and check.
Settled, are you?
And I'm looking to see if she's breathing.
Yeah.
She's been asleep 10 hours. Because at the moment, I mean, the norm for her, up until this all started, would be she'd just go to bed and she would sleep right through to the morning.
What sort of things does she like?
Football.
Sound good.
I wonder where that comes from.
Yeah.
Music.
I say football. You've always been a Spurs fan, haven't you? Like from.
I am a Spurs fan.
Sorry.
I'm not even embarrassed to say that.
No.
We're going to have a good season this season.
Yeah, okay, fair. Whatever. Is she Spursy, or is she?
Yeah,
she is.
But people.
Does she have favourite players, or?
Yeah, but I've never made her like encourage that. She's singled out her players.
And they are?
Harry Kane. Yeah, most kids Harry Kane.
Yeah.
When he was obviously at Tottenham.
King of goals, yeah.
Son.
Yeah.
Declan Rice.
Okay.
She loves who else does she love? It's just certain players. Most of the Spurs squad. She likes Haaland. I don't like Haaland. Jude Bellingham.
Who doesn't like Jude Bellingham?
Say.
I mean, the eyes ain't painted up.
Down there to 90-year-old.
Yeah.
Everyone
we all love Jude Bellingham. Yeah.
We all want Bellingham.
What about, yeah.
So yeah, she's Gerard Bowen. Random players.
Oh.
Yeah. Real random players.
Is she a posh fan?
Yes. As well, she wouldn't know the players.
Right.
But she knows posh. Like I said, she's got the pillow. She's got all the posh bunnies. Peterborough. So she's obsessed with that bunny. I mean, she's literally obsessed with it. It's with her every single day. She's got all of them. The pillow, like I said, the top. But yeah, so she loves the football. She loved the World Cup. She watched all sorts. All the teams.
On that World Cup, just gonna say, I'm gonna drop in a little picture here now of us. This is us 20 years ago. Little picture. It's probably not going to be there now. That was a trip, wasn't it? Frankfurt, 2006.
Loved it.
So my memory's not the best of this, you know. As we've established, my memory is pretty
No,
shocking.
I can remember all of it.
Can you?
Yeah, even though we were like wasted. I don't remember seeing many women at all.
No. So move forward to your getting up to 30.
Mhm.
What happens in your life that triggers you, I guess, going to the doctor or whatever?
Felt a lump.
You felt it?
Yes, it was like the way I can describe it is almost like someone had cut a pea in half and then stuck it in there. It just felt like like half a pea.
Which one?
Left side.
Okay. How were you doing something, or were you checking, or were you doing something? You thought, oh,
I don't know. I don't know. I don't think there was any pain. So long ago. I just remember there being a little lump. And I kept thinking, no, I'll go and have it checked.
Where was it?
Here.
So around here.
Yeah,
so under the armpit, in the where sort of joints.
No, literally under the boob.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in the boob, not the armpit. Literally.
Okay, but so around here.
Yeah.
Right.
So literally there. Went to the doctors. She felt it straight away. Said that just feels like a cyst.
Oh.
Well, but they always refer you to the breast unit.
Yeah.
Obviously, went to the breast unit. She felt it. She was like an army. She was called Colonel Duggan. She was like a colonel in the army. I didn't like
your
her.
memory for names is
I
insane.
know. But I didn't like her. She was very. Anyway, she felt it. And I remember sitting on the bed. She felt it, and she went, "Feels like a cyst. So you can either have a biopsy done, or you can wait 3 months and then come back." And I went, "Oh, I'm not waiting. I want it checked."
Good job we did that. Yeah.
So obviously had the biopsy done.
How do they do that? The biopsy?
They basically.
Do you go under or?
Well, I think they tried to do it by they numb it and then they extract a bit.
Yeah.
But I think I got into such a state, I think I was going to pass out, and they can't do it when you're passed out. I'm terrible for passing out and other things.
Yeah.
I used to do it when I was younger.
So dramatic.
Very dramatic. I'm good with needles now, as in like I can have blood taken and not bat an eyelid.
Right.
I used to pass out. Anyway, so they couldn't do it that way. So of course, I had to go under and have it removed and checked. When he took it out, he actually came round to me. And obviously, these surgeons see these lumps every day.
Yeah.
Probably God knows how many times.
Yeah.
So he just said to me, "It looks just like a cyst, but we have to obviously put it under the microscope."
Have a look.
So I went away, and I honestly, 100% was like, just a cyst. My mum gets cysts. So I thought, well, there isn't breast cancer in the family. I don't smoke. Why? As if. So when we went back for the results, Mum said, "Oh, come with you." I said, "No." I said, "It's just a cyst."
Were you called in early, or did they tell you that it was?
No, they literally. I think he said the results will take 2 weeks. I can't remember if it was 2 weeks or it was a week later. I can't remember. It's not long. And I got called. Mum said, "I'll come with you," and I said, "No," because it's literally.
They're going to tell me
it's a cyst. And she said, "No, I'll come with you." You know what Mum's insisting. So she came with me, and we sat outside waiting. Again, I was still very blasé. This is just a cyst. It's part and parcel.
Wasting my time being here.
My mum knew instantly, because what I didn't know was if the doctor comes out and calls you in, usually things are okay. If a nurse comes out,
yeah,
that's with the doctor,
2 of them,
you know,
there's usually something they're going to tell you,
because you've got the nurse that's going to straight away look after you.
Because the doctor's not going to deal with you crying.
He ain't gonna deal with you crying. Well, so Mum knew when the nurse called me. I didn't. I was just like, "Hi." I was just sat down. The nurse was stood there, and he said, "It's cancer." And
is that what they say, or was that your memory?
I
suppose it's the same thing.
They do just say, we've had the results come back and it is cancer.
I suppose there's got to be no messing. No, you can't misunderstand
this. Way of really sugarcoating it, is
no.
There's a little thing in there that
it could be.
No,
so
they have to. Yeah. And I remember I looked at my mum, and she said, "I'll never forget your face." And I just remember then not hearing anything he was saying.
Because it's cancer.
Yeah, because people say that happens, and I now know what it's like.
Yeah.
And all I kept thinking was, and this is going to sound like I've made it up, I kept thinking, I need to just tell my brother, I need to ring Darren. Because Darren was always very, very strong. Like, very like...
Is he the eldest?
Yeah. So I thought, I've got to ring him, I've got to ring him. And I needed to ring my dad. I think because Mum was there, I thought, I've got to ring my dad. And I left the room. I think I left the room and said, I'm sorry, I can't listen to anything. I've got to go. So I remember leaving the room and going down the corridor. And I remember just getting on the phone. And I'm sure I rang Darren first. Because then Darren was trying to ring my other brother, Lee. And Lee was at the scaffolding. So Lee had left his phone in the car. When he said, I want to come down, he said, and I saw about 14 missed calls from Darren. I knew something was wrong because he said, he don't ring me. Not brothers alike. So I remember ringing Darren. I just wanted him, and me and my sister have always been very much like that, because Darren's very much, he was, the strong one, because he was big as well. He'd cuddle you and you'd feel like
you'd look after him.
Yeah, I can't really explain it, but I just remember I just wanted. So we'd left the hospital.
That's what you do, isn't it? Safety.
Yeah, not because Lee isn't, but Lee's always like, Lee jokes and he's the funny one and he makes everything feel. But Darren
Lee
felt...
used to have a necklace with a boxing glove on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, come
on. And Lee would always be like out with us, join us with the party and stuff, where Darren was the more, stubborn, sensible one. But anyway, I just remember then going home and I don't know, I can't remember, just having to process it all and just thinking, shit.
Do you remember what you thought? Like, shit. Is it because you're thinking...
I thought I was going to die.
Yeah.
Even though the first words out of the doctors was, you have got breast cancer, but it's treatable. They never use the word cure.
No.
They use it, it's treatable, and we can basically remove it. But you still walk away and go, in my head, I'm going to die. I mean, I think a lot of people do.
Yeah, I think so.
Just knowing you've got cancer.
Yeah.
But I think it was more when I had to go and do like a tour. I don't do it now so much, I don't think. A tour around the chemotherapy department. Obviously, again, it was the old hospital. And I remember seeing a lady there that was obviously having cancer treatment. She'd got no teeth. And she looked a mess. And I thought, I'm going to look like that.
Yeah.
That was my image in my head.
Yeah.
And I kept seeing all these people like hooked up. And I just thought, it's a totally different world. You literally... I remember I snapped at my mum. And later on, I apologised to her. Because I remember saying to her, you don't know how I feel. And she couldn't help not knowing how I felt.
Nobody.
She's watching her child, and she just lost her brother from cancer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we were having... Well, he passed not long... Basically, he passed on my birthday.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. We were having chemotherapy exactly the same time. So she had her brother in there having chemo, and me in there having chemo. Not the same days.
Yeah.
But he had to sit in there for like 7 hours having his treatment.
Go backwards a little bit. So you've been told you've got cancer. You go home, struggle to process it. You do. So the next thing that happens?
It's...
When do you know that what treatment you can have or how you have it?
You pretty much... It's very, very quick.
Is it?
They don't mess about. I have to say, oncologists, the breast care unit, everything at Peterborough are fantastic. They are on the ball. They pretty much get you in straight away. He said, we need to have you in. I had 3 operations in 6 weeks. So the lump removed, had to then go back and have more of the cells and stuff around the lump to check. And then the third time I had to go back, which was on the 1st of April, April Fool's Day, to have a dye put in the nipple with a big needle. But they do put a dye in your nipple, and then wherever it travels to, it will travel to the cancerous lymph nodes.
Oh, that's what it goes, sort of hunts it.
Finds it, which is clever.
Yeah.
So he did say to me, if it's only in a couple, the chances are, because they go down like on a chain. They're basically like grapes on like a chain.
Okay.
He said, if it's in the first couple, then and it's not in the others, then we usually say, chances are you won't need chemotherapy or radiotherapy.
Right.
So in my head, I'm thinking, okay, I've had 3 ops. We can deal with this. He come back, and for a start, he said it was in 2. and then said, no, it's actually in 3.
Right.
So you've got to have chemo and radiotherapy.
Oh, both.
That's okay. So again, chemo starts very, very quickly. I think I got diagnosed on 13th of March, and by May I'll start my chemo. So it's very quick, which is probably a good thing because you haven't got time to. So then they just said you'll have chemotherapy, and then you have a break for, I think it's 3 weeks. So the first week you're really, really poorly, then you feel good for 2 weeks, then you have to start it again. You know you're going to feel shit again. The first 3, he said, are very different to the last 3.
Okay.
I said, okay. First 3, he said, there's the chance, obviously, that I knew my hair was going to fall out. And I tried the cold cap. That lasted on my head for about 30 seconds. You can get that off because it's freezing. Not having that. I just have to deal with my hair falling out. And I, stupidly, as the weeks went on and it wasn't falling out, I was like, oh, I'm going to be one of them ones that ain't going to fall out. And it was going really shiny and really, it looked lovely. And then one day I went like that. I woke up in the morning, went like that.
And it just came out now.
The whole side.
Oh, shit, is that how it happened?
Yeah. It was, because I remember, again, I was at Darren's. Yeah, we were having a barbecue in the garden. And I just remember thinking, I said, oh, my hair's lovely and shiny. I said, maybe it won't fall out. And I remember us having that conversation in the garden.
Also, your hair was always one of your things that was always a really big thing for you. You had beautiful, thick, long.
But I remember before my uncle passed, and it's just weird how he passed on my birthday. Anyway, he said to me, stop worrying about your hair when it comes to you having chemo. He said, it will grow back. You'll be fine. It's just cosmetic. I know for men it's different. And he said, I know for men it's different. But he said, but it will grow back and you will be fine. And I kept that in my head. But the reality is, when I woke up and went like that, and I was just like, and then my sister being my sister, so I rang her. My hair's falling out. She said, we need to get it. It was loads of it. You can imagine, you know how thick my hair is.
Yeah, so much.
And it was all over the floor.
Oh, Claire.
And she'd come with the Hoover, and she was hoovering it up. And I remember she rang my dad for some reason. I can't remember. She just said, oh, Dad, there's so much hair here. We could make a wig. She was trying to make me laugh. I was like, anyway, she said, we need to shave it off. So we got Nadia around. Nadia is such a strong person that we were just like, you come and do it. So she came with the things and
clippers, I suppose.
Yeah, and buzzed it off.
Do you remember how you felt?
Cold. I see why bald men are cold.
Physically cold. Sorry, I'm with you.
It literally is cold. You feel that when they say the heat comes out of your head.
Yeah.
Felt.
Yeah, that's a strange thing, isn't it? I suppose you don't think about that.
I had to put a hat on in bed because I'd be that cold. I felt horrible because I was on steroids. So I'd gone from being like a size.
Oh, you were tiny.
Yeah, 10.
Stop. You were smaller than a 10.
Well, those leggings, not leggings, those
bloody leather PVC plastic things. Yes, that you lived in. Yeah.
And I kept sewing them.
Yeah.
But I think they were an 8.
Looking back now, I can't even imagine that you were as big as an 8. Mind you, you had a curvy bum on you.
Yeah.
Tiny little thing with a big bum, and the figure now that people would die for. When that big bum.
The one I want back.
Eyes. Yeah. But even then, back then, we were like, oh God, we need to be Victoria Beckham, tiny back then, didn't we?
Yeah, I was bold and bloated to the point of I had to take 12 very tiny steroids before my chemo and 12 after. And they just make you bloat. I think I put on about 3 stone. And I remember sitting down one day trying to reach down to my toenails to paint them, and I couldn't reach them. I'll tell you how I described myself. Well, I still feel like it today, really. You know the Michelin Man?
Yeah.
I felt like I'd stepped into his suit and zipped. I was walking around and I felt like that. That's the only way I can describe it.
Yeah. Right. Chemo. So you have chemo?
I have the chemo. Chemo's awful.
How does it make you feel?
The first chemo I had, I remember I stopped at my sister's that weekend because I'd have it on a Friday. Stopped at my sister's that weekend. And I remember laying in the bedroom on the bed And I just said to her, I'm going to die. I'm not going to make it, because it makes you feel so poorly.
But I've heard that it makes you poorly. What is it that it makes you feel? Is it pain? Is it sick? Is it headaches? Do you know what
Everything.
I mean?
It just feels like your whole body is not functioning. I can't really describe it.
Right.
It's hard to put it into words. You just feel so, I suppose the exhaustion is, you can't, I don't know, I can't describe it.
Okay.
You just lay there, think, I'm going to die. I wasn't even in excruciating pain, but I don't know.
Yeah, just
It's so hard. I think because you're having treatment, and I kept saying to myself, I'm not having this treatment to battle cancer, because they've removed the lump, they've removed the lymph nodes. It's not in the rest of my body, but they kept saying there could be one cell floating around.
you've got to get rid of it.
So we've got to make sure. So that's what I had to say to myself. But you feel so poorly that, and then obviously then you're bald, you're bloated.
Just feel like shit.
Oh, and then the eyelashes went, and you don't realise how much.
I remember this.
Yeah.
I've got a memory of this. Because again, your lashes, you've always had long lashes.
Thank you. They haven't come back as long lashes. They've come back as short, stumpy.
Join the club. Join our team. Stumpy lashes. These little dumpy things. Yeah, you did have the most beautiful, because your eyes was always your thing, wasn't it? Your eyes and your hair. Anyway. Right. So chemo, pain, awful shit. What's next? So radiotherapy afterwards then?
Yeah, the first 3 chemos, you feel like shit, but the last 3 chemos hits your bones, so you physically, every bone in your body hurts. So when you even just walking, moving.
Wow.
And I had to walk up the school to pick the kids up with a wig on.
Oh, talk me through wigs.
I
Because that must have been
I went straight from chemo the first time, went straight to a shop on Lincoln Road to get a wig. Within an hour, because I kept thinking, I'm absolutely fine. I've had this drug in me and I'm fine. An hour later, I thought I was in the back of the car, and I thought, Mum said, told you pushed yourself. Went and brought a wig. It weren't the best wig in the world. In the end, we booked into, I think it was Brown's the hairdressers, don't quote me, but there's a place above it in Hampton that did proper wigs. So I spent it was only £110, but back then.
well, that even, yeah, as you say, it's like really good wigs are a lot of money.
I've still got it.
Have you?
Yes, we've used it for all sorts, to dressing up, Halloween. We've backcombed it. We've put it on the kids. Oh yeah. I used to whip it off when I used to get to my sister's, put it on the end of the landing, because then she would come down and not even realise, get to and she got, stop doing that to me. But we had to. I mean, she held my wig back while I was being sick, and she said all I wanted to do was whip it off. No,
yeah,
I'm outside. I'm in the car park throwing up.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the last 3 chemos are the worst, because you physically, I would crawl on the floor to get ready, and then try and get the kids ready. But I would say to myself, I'll need to keep their routine. I need to pick them up, because if I didn't pick them up, it weren't so much Chloe. Bradley would be like, where's Mum? Is Mum poorly?
And as again, you've just got to get it done. So I don't know how I did it.
I don't know how I walked up there.
I did it.
I know when my hair started to grow back, and I shouldn't have done this, but there was a snobby man at the school. I don't remember his name. Real snobby. Thought he was better than everyone. And my hair was really short. And it was the era when Victoria Beckham cut her hair really short.
I like Pixie, yeah.
Yep, the pixie cut. And as I walked up to pick up the kids, he looked and went, oh, you've gone for the Victoria Beckham look. I said, no, I had cancer, my hair fell out.
Rightly so. Yeah, fuck them.
And then someone else came flying over to me and said, oh my God, why didn't you tell me? Oh, because of what am I supposed to do? Broadcast it?
Flags, yeah.
You know, there was... And
what were you going to do?
I don't know. It was just, the people had weird reactions. Some people crossed the road. Oh, you can't catch it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, different people don't know how to think.
So, yeah. I don't know. Then I had to start radiotherapy, which was zapped for 3 minutes or 2 minutes every day at Adam Brooks.
Oh shit! How long for?
A month.
So do you have to go up there every day?
Every single day.
How? This might sound obvious. How's that funded? Do you have to just do it yourself, or do they? I suppose there's an option of a shit bus that takes 3 weeks, or you mind your own way. Is there? How does that work?
Yeah, you have to find your own way.
That seems like such an obvious, but that's a lot of travel and a lot of time, and you can't drive, so someone else is going to have to do it.
Yeah, so in between,
we haven't all got significant others.
No, I think
or that
my mum did most of the runs.
I bet she did.
Darren did some. a friend, Sarah, that lived on Sugar Way, she did some, I did one or two, I can't remember. Amanda must have, I don't really remember everyone.
Again, got done.
But somehow, and they were quite flexible in the sense that they would book my radiotherapy in so that I'd be back in time for the kids coming out. Yeah.
Oh, another thing, do radiotherapy, get back, got to do the kids.
Yeah.
Repeat.
So I would
sleep, repeat.
Literally leave the house, get in the car, go, and you took longer to get to Addenbrooke's obviously than the actual treatment.
Yeah.
And then lay there and obviously and then I just moisturised every day here with I didn't go with the E45 that they said. I went with what I wanted to put on there, and they looked at me and went, "We can't recommend that, but yeah, okay. They can only recommend E45."
Right.
So I didn't end up with the burn that a lot of people do.
Okay.
So it wasn't too bad.
So where do they do it? Where it was removed and where they think it is?
Basically, the scar where they've removed the lump.
Okay.
They zap that.
Right.
Again, it's just to make sure that everything has gone. So then I got to the last radiotherapy, and during that 4 weeks, because I lost my eyelashes, my lips all started to split. And then because I had no eyelashes, my eyes became so sore that I remember looking in the mirror in the toilets before I went down the corridor to go to radiotherapy, had the bandana thing on, and looked in the mirror, and it actually looked like I'd been beat up. And then I found out somebody at the school was spreading it round that my boyfriend had beat me up.
Brilliant.
But it weren't. It was because of the treatment.
Yeah.
I looked in the mirror and I was absolutely stuck. My lips were bleeding. My eyes were just
like, who is this person?
Yeah, it was awful. And people staring at you in the corridor, and you just.
Do you go through that? I don't want to put words in your mouth. I'm just going to ask it anyway. Do you go through that feeling of kind of like, I don't know, if, do you feel like like you're a different person? Like, as I say, you look in the mirror, you can see that. Who am I? Do you kind of think how do you come out the other side of it almost? Even if everything's okay, you're never going to be the same person again.
You aren't.
Yeah.
You go through days where you just think, oh, I can't do this anymore. But again, you say that, but you have to do it. There's no choice. Then there's other days where I was like, could joke and laugh about and thought, I'm fine. What are you moaning about? You're alive.
Yeah.
But there's also that element you'd sort of go to bed at night thinking, why? Why me? I didn't smoke. I didn't do this. I didn't do that. Why have I got it? But I remember the last day of radiotherapy, my mum said to me, I remember she said to me, she was like, yay, the last one. Blah, blah, blah. Are you happy? And I just turned around and started crying. She said, you're not happy? I said, no, I'm not happy. She said, why? I said, because I think everybody else is happy because they're like, she's at the end of her treatment. But for me, it was like, it don't end that day. And it's never ended. It doesn't end.
Yeah.
Because then you've got to start on tamoxifen for 5 years. I had to have the Zoladex injections in my stomach once a month for 2 years to shut down my ovaries. So it doesn't end that day.
Yeah, to the outside world, you medicate, your radio's done, tick done, finished.
Chemo's done.
Let's carry on back to normal business.
Yeah, because your hair starts to grow back.
Yeah.
But you have still got to.
How did the hair come back? Quickly? Nice? Well?
Yeah, it did actually come back exactly the same. Even I thought these bits might grow. No, they still came back tiny little bits here. They come back exactly as it was before. So, I mean, some people say that it comes back really curly.
Yeah.
And all that. No, it just come back exactly. It got to a certain length, and then I had extensions put in because I was so desperate for long hair. And then, it did. It grew quite quick.
And when do you find out whether you're okay, you're not okay, it's gone, it's not gone? How does that happen?
They don't really class you as. I don't really remember using the words in remission because that's normally when you've been fighting cancer.
Yeah.
In the respect of it, using chemo to get it out of your body.
Yeah.
So I think they just said to me that once I hit, I think 10 years from, then my chance of getting it again is exactly the same as everybody else.
So you're back to
normal.
Yeah.
You're back to
zero again.
Yeah, as such. So it was just a case of loads of checkups, yearly mammograms, anything unusual come back, and they are very, very good. Especially when obviously they look at see you've had it, they don't hesitate. And again, I think that's a lot of things when I've gone to the doctors and said, oh, I'm worried about this, and you do wonder, oh, is it linked to cancer? They will check it probably quicker, which is wrong, but they will check things quicker because you've had it, even if it's not related to breast.
So we get past 10 years.
Yeah.
And everything's all right.
Yeah, every time I go for a mammogram, I got the letter and it was always, everything looks normal.
And
I didn't have any problems.
Right. But later on, something does come up, right?
Yeah.
Talk me through that.
I went for a mammogram and then got told, could you come back to be checked? Which I've been called back before. And they scanned me and said it was just fatty tissue. So again, I was called back, said, let's do a scan. I said, okay. Did the scan, and she said, nothing, because it usually comes up like a white lump on the scan. She just said, for her, she said, it doesn't look anything really suspicious. So I was kind of like, okay. But she said, I want to do a biopsy because it is exactly the same spot as the previous.
Same side.
Same side.
Yeah.
In between all that, I'd had my left ovary removed because I'd had a cyst on that, which was benign.
Okay.
So I just thought my left side's fucked. There's something wrong with my left side.
You're right-handed?
Yeah. So she said, we need to do a biopsy. So I'm laying there thinking,
here we go.
Here we go again. I thought, this time, you've got to have this done. I felt, because I sound daft, because we'd lost Darren and I'd seen what Darren went through, which was a million times worse than any of what I went through, even the chemo. It was worse. It gave me that inner strength to just get on with it, which sounds daft, but I just thought, if he can go through what he went through and still be how he was, I can have this stupid little needle and I'll be all right. My sister was in the waiting room, but I still called her in, as you do. Said she's got to have a biopsy. Anyway, they numbed it and they did it, and I felt like I was going to pass out, and they had to tip me that way, and then she tipped me back up, and then she said to me, I'll give you something sweet. Well, and she said, but she gave me one of them chocolates with the alcohol in.
What, like a liqueur?
Yeah.
Right.
And she looked at me, she went, well, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. This was like, I don't know, 10 o'clock in the morning.
I'll take that, yeah.
Anyway, so I had it, obviously, just to,
keep her happy. You had to, didn't you?
Yeah. Have you got any more?
Yeah.
But, so yeah, then they said, we'll send the biopsy off. But I kept hearing her words saying, didn't look anything suspicious. And she said, it could be where, because you've obviously got scar in there, it could be scarring, it can be fatty tissue. So all over Christmas, I had to wait for the results. So up until the 20th of Jan, I was back and forth. I was like, no, it's been 18 years. Every mammogram every year has been fine.
Fine, yeah.
I couldn't feel nothing. Everything felt normal.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even seeing the nurse. As soon as I got to the breast unit and sat down and they called me in, I knew before I even sat down, I'd already prepared myself. He said, the cancer's back.
Bloody hell.
I looked at Amanda and I just was like, okay. Again, didn't really hear then what he was saying. And it sounds really daft, but I sat there and I just thought, I want my brother.
Oh, Claire.
I remember saying it to Amanda. So I just want him here now. He should have survived and he should be here now with me. Because he'll understand. And I wasn't thinking about the fact that the cancer had come back. I was just thinking, I just want him back. And I think that's what's got me through it this time. I've just kind of like took it on. I've just like, oh, whatever. I've just literally like just gone, wait, and I said to him, he said, it's exactly the same. It's the same grade.
Oh, Jesus.
It's not as big. He said, as far as we could see, it's contained.
Yeah.
They'd removed all my lymph nodes, so it hasn't gone into my lymph nodes.
No,
but he said, we still need to do a CT scan to check, to make sure it's not anywhere else in the body. But he said, the chances of that, he said, if it doesn't go through the lymph nodes, which it can't because there ain't none, it can go through the bloodstream. But what they do is they also, when they do the biopsy, is they test the blood around the cancer bit to see if it's in the blood, and it wasn't. So I kept saying, well, if it's not in the blood, then it's not gone through into my body.
Yeah.
But still, had the CT scan. CT scans don't bother me. It took about 2 seconds. They were really brilliant in there. And because you're not closed in with a CT scan, it's just like a donut, isn't it? It's a very thin one. So they did that, but I had to wait 2 weeks for that. And those 2 weeks were probably even worse because I kept thinking, what if it's somewhere else in my body? What if, because it had come back and I'd got this and that and this, you obviously with menopause, you've got the aches and pains. I kept thinking, oh no, what if it's gone back somewhere else? And weirdly enough, my doctor rang me about something else. I can't remember what it was about. I don't know if it was the brain scan. I can't remember what he rang me about, but it was before my appointment to find out about the CT scan results. And he said to me, have you had your CT scan results? I said, no. And he said, oh, right. He said, well, I just think as a doctor, he said, if they're here and I can see them, that the patient should be able to see them. I said, I'm not due to see them not due to have the results until I go back. He was like, no, he said, you've got every right to them. He said, and I knew because he was saying that.
He was trying to say something positive.
Yeah. And then he said, do you want them? And I went, stupidly, I think he's not going to tell me down the phone if it's bad. I went, are they bad? And he went, no. He said, it's all clear. I just burst into tears. I just thought, oh, I've got past that.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking to myself, now I just want to get this out of me.
Yeah.
Because then each day leading up to the operation, because he'd said to me when I went in to discuss it, I had to go away and make a choice of, do I have he said, there is no choice. You've got to have a mastectomy.
Yeah.
He said, because you can't have radiotherapy twice in the same place.
Oh.
Because it damages the skin. Radiotherapy does permanently for life. So he said, you can't have it. You can have chemotherapy again, but you can't have radiotherapy in the same place.
Mm.
You can have mastectomy and be flat.
Mm-hmm.
He said, or we can put a implant in. But he said, because of my BMI at the time, and because he said of your previous radiotherapy and the damage to that skin, there's a chance that you'll get either skin necrosis or he said it will reject. So he said, you need to go away and make that choice. But he said, you need to go away and make that decision. I think even though when I was leaving the hospital, I'm flittering between what do I do? I think I knew I had to have an implant. I knew at my age I didn't want to look down.
No.
And he said, we have to take the nipple because it's ductal cancer. It's a hormonal ductal cancer. So it comes from the main ducts, which is obviously in your nipple.
Yeah.
So you won't have a nipple. That actually has not bothered me as much as I thought it would.
Yeah.
So I went away and weighed up, and he said it's 60-40. There's a 40% chance that it won't work, but 60% chance of women it does work. But what you've got against you, he said, is obviously your BMI being a bit bigger, which is why they wouldn't take the fat from my stomach and put it in.
Mm.
So I went away and I thought, no, do I take the risk? And I said to him, what's the worst case? I said, will it cause he said, it won't cause any cancer to come back. If it does get rejected, we remove it and then you flatten. I thought, well, not what have I got to lose? But
again, your options are very limited there, aren't they?
They are. I hadn't got a lot of options.
Mm.
But I just looked down and thought, I can't see myself as being flat.
No.
So I said no. I went back and I said, right, I'll have the implant. He said, okay. Now he said, obviously, I'd got an indentation where they took out the lump the previous time, which made my boob literally, I think I'd lost about 60% of my boob.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So for years, I've never been able to have a bra because this boob has always been just not around. There's an indentation. It's not the shape that you would, not. Yeah. It didn't look right in the mirror. And he said, I won't be able to do a lot regarding that. But he said, obviously, when the implant goes in, he said, it just depends because your skin will be so damaged from the radiotherapy that it won't be able to stretch say, if you had it done.
Yeah. To
get the implant to make it round. Okay, that's fine. He said, and we can't make it bigger. We can only make it the size of the skin. And what it's called is it's called a skin sparing mastectomy. Right. So I've still got my own skin. So it's still the original boob skin.
Yeah.
They just open it up, remove everything from inside your boob.
Right.
It's all gone.
Yeah.
Cancel the lot. The skin, everything's gone. So it's like empty. So it's just
Yeah.
the flap of the skin.
Yeah.
No nipple. And then they put the implant in with the mesh,
Yeah.
which comes apparently from a pig.
Oh.
And that's because that mesh is so near human that it starts to gradually embed in and attach, because the implant has got to be held up by something, because
Yes.
there's nothing in there.
No.
So yeah, so I went off to theatre, and I remember I was holding this bloody thing, and I walked in, and when the minute I smell theatre, I go into that. I panic. I become like a child.
Well, I'm not surprised. The things you've been through.
I hate the smell of it. I hate being put out.
Mm.
I always think I'm always saying I'm never going to wake up.
Yeah, not from that. Yeah.
And she said to me, "Do you want to give your sister one last cuddle?" I said, "No." She made it sound like it was like a goodbye. I was like, "No." Amanda was like, "Oh," and I was like, "No," because the team seems to.
God, that feeds into your anxiety.
Yeah. So obviously got into theatre, and obviously they put me out, and I woke up. And as soon as I woke up, I was in a room on my own, and I'd got the drain attached to me.
Yeah.
Which was in a bag, and so that's obviously you have to carry that.
Yeah.
And then also attached to me is they don't put bandages on anymore.
Okay.
They use a suction, which is, it's literally so tight, it's suctioned on, which heals you, and it's amazing, but it's very heavy, and it's attached to a machine that you have to charge up as well at night. So I had to carry that around. So both of them, and that was hard, and that had to stay on for 2 weeks. I woke up and got this thing on me, and then I'm laying there in this room, and I'm like, felt all right. I was like, okay, I'm awake. I always say I'm alive. So I'm always happy I'm alive. And then I'm just like, text everyone, said, I'm awake, I'm fine, I've had it done. Waiting for the doctor to come round. And he come round with the other surgeon, who was lovely. And he was smiling. I thought, oh, it's obviously good news. I said, how did it go? And he said, it went brilliant. He said, your skin was so much better than we thought. He said it did stretch.
Okay.
So they managed to fill in that indentation.
Oh, nice.
So the actual boob is like a normal boob.
Yeah.
Just without a nip.
Without a nip.
Without a nip. So I was like, so it went well. He went really well. And obviously he said, we have to obviously keep an eye on it. But he said we did find there was immediate blood flow. Because if there's no blood flow, because they've removed everything, then it's not going to take.
Right, okay.
But he said we could see blood flow.
Straight away.
And I said, oh, brilliant. So I said, when can I go home? And he was like, you can go home tonight. I was literally home by 7:30, and I kept saying to him, I need to be home before 8 o'clock with the football's on.
Oh God, that sounds like you. You've been through a big loss with your brother.
Yes.
Which I won't go into. He was obviously safe place, rock. Such a character, I remember him. What do you think are the main things that make you just get on with it?
I don't have a choice.
Right.
I don't have a choice. I have to do it.
Have you ever had a period where you thought, I can't? Like, truly?
Yeah.
And how did you get out the other side of that, do you think?
Family.
Yeah. You've got very close family, haven't you?
Yes. Family. Just kind of like, got to get on with it, Claire, because, you know, if I don't pull myself together, I can't look after Chloe.
I was about to say that. Do you think that's actually a big part of it? The dependent that, you know, Chloe, the way that she obviously depends on you and has no choice, that's maybe one of the reasons why you have to go on.
Yeah, like when I got COVID and I was not very well.
God, you got COVID.
What, I got COVID? Twice.
God, you did.
Me and Chloe both got it at the same time.
Oh, God.
I wasn't drastically ill at all.
Yeah.
I felt like I got, well, no, your muscles are all aching and all that.
Yeah.
Laying on the sofa. But again, I had to get up and go and make her food. I had to still shower her. There's no even if I have to adapt by sitting on the floor, by throwing up in the toilet, say when you're poorly, and then I have to have a drink of water and then carry on doing what I've got to do. I don't have a choice.
See, Chloe's your purpose.
I said, yeah.
Because a lot of it is I've got to be here for Chloe. So
Yeah.
That's your
with everything I do, it's I've got to be back for Chloe. I've got to be back for Chloe, which is why I think I'm getting to the point where I need this respite, to have some time to not have to think that, to go away for a weekend.
I think for such a positive thing that is, I can see how that's quite a difficult hurdle for you.
Oh, it's gonna be.
Yeah.
I mean, someone said to me, oh, you could fly abroad, couldn't you, and do this? And I'm thinking, what, leave her here?
Calm down. No,
not that far yet.
No. One step at a time, please.
I'm not sure they'd let you leave the country, but I don't know. They might.
Yeah, maybe, because there'd be somebody around if something happened.
Yeah, it's 20. Yeah, it's 24/7. The care.
Yeah.
And the night staff have slept all day, so when they come in, they're fresh. So when they look after her all night, they're awake all night. So it doesn't affect them like.
Yeah, and they're the way that you're looking after her 24/7, they're not.
No. So
she's getting the care, but it's been split in shifts.
Yes.
Which is why it's good to care.
Yeah. So yeah.
What's your next step for you? What's your next big thing for you to deal with? Is it the respite?
I want to get that into place. Chloe's currently under the Hollies at the Cavell Centre near the hospital, which is a psychology, but that's to get to the root of why she's not coping at the moment with things.
This change in
behaviour.
I suppose there's a
lot's happened in the last year and a half.
Yeah.
She's been affected by obviously losing Darren.
Yeah. She understand it?
She keeps saying to me, she's saying it more and more now. She keeps having quite a lot of like, I've got a plant in my garden that I put a plant in for him, and I've got a little plaque and stuff like that, and she waters it. And she keeps saying, can we fix him? Can we fix him? Why can't we fix him? Was it my fault? Of course it wasn't your fault.
It's not been able to process it, isn't it?
She can't process it. If he walked through the door now, she wouldn't be like, well, how come you're...
Yeah, you're back.
Yeah.
Think, oh, why have you been gone so long?
Yeah. So I think there's that, and I think maybe when she sort of probably heard that mine was breast cancer, I just kept saying, Mummy's had a boob fixed. And maybe she thought I would...
Same as Darren.
Yeah. She has said it a few times.
Yeah, it's relatable, isn't it?
She does think with a lot of people, if they're not well, are they going to go the same place as Darren?
Oh, yeah. It's sad, isn't it?
So, yeah, it's a bit of a trying time at the moment, but there's things in place at the moment. She is getting a lot of help.
You haven't had time it's not trying, really, have you? Really? There's not many times I can think in your life where you've had it easy. Thank you so much.
No, you're
for
welcome.
Being so open, I appreciate it. And my plan with all of this is that, if any of your story can help one other person to see.
Yeah.
To see that there's.
But you can. Yeah, you can do hard things.
You can do hard things.
You can get through it,
darling. Love you.
No,
thank you. I would like to thank you for listening to You Can Do Hard Things. If you've enjoyed Claire's story, check out some of my other conversations with people like Olympians, police officers, and people who have faced some extraordinary challenges. Please follow, please subscribe, and if you've got a story to tell or know someone who should be on the podcast, please get in touch and drop me a message. Until then, you can do hard things.